I think I ought to start all the videos with this young lad. Oh, my dear ones. Well, I'm going to keep on recording videos today. There's a change from the last video to this one. See if you can tell what it is. My mother used to do that to me growing up. I don't know why it was, but she would move something, and she was kind of an antique freak, so she had a lot of little antique things. She said, I moved something today. What was it? My sister could never get it, and I always got it, because I'm always observant, you know. The more observant you are, the more you see, right? But if you're thinking too much, you can't be observant. Isn't that ironic? All right, so let's keep on going down this road, because you guys, I can't keep up with you. But remember what you're fighting. You're not fighting this dreaded disease. You're not fighting that. You're probably fighting more your own self than anything, your own habits. Remember, you're not your mind, but your mind loves habits. It loves these grooves and things. Anything outside of that brings in, unknown and all that sort of thing. So there is that part of the mind that loves rituals and that sort of thing, But you want to always keep yourself free from that if you can, and you will enjoy your life so much better. Your experiences won't grind you down because you're free from that. You're looking at the experiences going, well, why did I go through that? What did it have to teach me? Or how did I create this? Because remember, everything you experience, you create. Very difficult to understand that. I was born with my mom, my dad, they created all kinds of things, but when you get back and you look at how creation's put together, believe it or not, everything is designed in your world for you. All your experiences is for you. If you're in a family of 10, each and every one of your siblings, that experience is for them individually. And the same, everything. This is your journey. And if you don't like it, change it. Change how you look at things. Change how you do things. Look to the positive instead of the negative. Find the good in everything. Find the beauty in everything. See the oneness of all things. You only really have to stop thinking for that oneness to set in. Because when you stop thinking, the division of duality ceases to exist. Because the mind propagates duality. So when you stop using that, you come back to the one again. So you cease to work in duality. When you look at that in terms of heavens and levels of consciousness, it's unbelievable. But you can see that in yourself. Truth, you're very much, each and every one of you, so much a part of all truth. And every bit about you holds the answer to the whole thing anyway. Wild stuff. Now, this is from Victor. The subject matter is scared I might have HIV, depression, back pain, white gums, and yellow skin. Wow. All right, hello, Dr. Morse. Before anything, let me say that you have a special spot in my heart. Yeah, I made one in mine for you. I've been watching your videos around the beginning of March. Thanks, my friend. Prior to that, I was never interested in any of this since I was a pretty healthy guy. The reason I started researching is because I had some sexual intercourse with a woman that condom broke. I am 19 years old, young white male from Eastern Europe who came to U.S. about 4 years ago with my family. I am 5'10" and about 165 pounds. All right. Now I'm 5'9.5", and I'm 170. I could lose a little. After the encounter, I got an irritation. I went to the doctor. First few days looked like herpes. After I saw the dermatologist, he quickly confirmed I had herpes. I have herpes, and told me to take a pharmaceutical. It turns out it wasn't herpes, since it was just a yeast infection. Oh, misdiagnosis, are we? There's a big difference between herpes and a yeast infection. Jesus, and the fear around both. Now, after about a month, I started feeling scared that I might have contracted HIV. I was so scared that I ended up doing about 4 HIV tests in about 3 months. All were negative. My latest one was after about 84 days. Yeah, I wouldn't even give it a thought. And since you want to get into that world of dynamicness, you don't have to worry about it, because as you the only way, and I've said this for years and years and years, the only way to truly get rid of viral loads is detox. They're not single-celled organisms like bacteria, and you can take antibiotics. When I look at herbs and they say antivirals, I kind of go, yeah, right. We've kind of got a lot of things in funny directions here. And understanding a virus is different. They make it sound like this is an animal that knows what it's doing. But it is a protein with an attitude, because all things have consciousness to them, awareness to it to some extent or not. I wouldn't worry about that. And any of you out there that do have HIV, very detoxable. And we just had one lady, she passed away here recently. She came to me with HIV many, many years ago. I never did, this is an on again, off again type of person, but I never did find out if she ever got rid of that. Because if you dig in and you're after your lymph system, you're going to get rid of HIV, you should be 4 to 6 months at the very most, should be, to get rid of that viral load. So it's the same thing with Hep C, viral loads, herpes, simplex. These are proteins, and they are enacted when? In acidosis. This is when you see the most activity of anything. You see dormancy when you're alkaline, or the elimination if your kidneys are filtering and you're moving lymph. So, it's just that sort of thing. There's a lot of fear around these things because medical doctors, there was a lot of deaths around AIDS, there's a lot of things. And so one really has to take a look at what's up about the lymphatic systems. There was one time in my life I was working with an AIDS community down here toward Naples. And the one thing that I noticed, because I've always used my camera, the lymphatic systems in those people that are viral loaded are lymphatically involved. And that's just the thing, is when you're subjected to anything, your body has the ability to reject and out it. The problem is when your lymphatic system is stagnant, there's not getting rid of anything. Your blood isn't a system of elimination. Okay, so it has to dump into a system of elimination. Make sense? And so a system of elimination is the lymphatic system. You only have 2 systems of elimination, pretty much. Of course, you can argue sweating and stuff like that, but I can link that all to the lymphatic system. So you have either the lymphatic system, which is the kidneys, and dubbing the skin the third kidney, then you understand that the kidneys are vital organs of elimination. The liver is not an organ of elimination. Health people have talked about detoxing the liver because the liver is a detoxifying organ. No, it's not. It's a chemical factory. And so there's just been a lot of misdirected ideas and opinions about things, and I think it's time we rein things in and put them in their proper places. That way you gain respect around the world because it's scientific, it's provable, and your theories are provable in actuality, where medical doctors can't prove their theories. Because if they say, well, look at our modality, this is our theory in action, you've got some serious problems, boys. You're killing too many people. That isn't a theory that's viable. We have to kill this many people so we can save this many more. That's bullshit. That's a huge lie. So, there's a lot of lies wrapped around all of that. But you're going to see that agenda, see who's involved with that agenda, see all of that. Man has been torn away from his natural God-given right of botanicals and health, the right way of nature. So, and the fact we've lost our intuitiveness for thought and narcissism, man's not sure what he's supposed to eat. So I wouldn't worry about the HIV. Detoxify yourself. And you want to anyway. You want to run a clean body no matter what. You're young, you want to make love to the ladies, or the reverse. Keep yourself clean. In terms of lymphatics. It's the lymphatic system that gets you. Every time. It doesn't matter what type of viral or whatever, not viral, but bacterial or anything like that in terms of microbial involvements, because they're just like everything else. seeking food and shelter. So don't feel scared. Don't feel scared. Get your kidneys filtering. Pee in a jar. Make sure you're filtering. Get your lymph system moving. You know, if you carry these thoughts, you can create these things. And that's the one thing is, the sure way to create anything is keep feeding the same thought. It will create. You will create it. And then, do you want what you're creating? See, the best thing is take your attention off of it. You know, all right, you've had your chef checked. Okay, done. Go on. Because if you have HIV, very curable virus. The fact that people have died from that and they have gnarly drugs, that's a medical thing. And that's only because they don't understand how you deal with how detoxification is nature's way of dealing with all of this. This isn't our way, it's nature's way. And when a medical doctor bumps back on us for detoxifying, and then he's spitting on the eye of God, because that's how the Almighty set up creation. And particularly at this level right here, everything detoxifies. Plants detoxify, trees detoxify, animals detoxify, humans detoxify. It's a natural process that all things go through. Plants very much go through it. Most plants shed their leaves in some part of their body as they regain new. So there's always an elimination and a rebuilding. Pretty cool. I was so scared I thought it could be herpes. Took lots of medications. That's where you get yourself in trouble, taking all the medications. That can be far worse than just the fear of the problem. About 7 days, then 2 more days, then I thought it's a UTI. And started taking over-the-counter meds for it. Turns out it wasn't a UTI. By the 2nd month, I started having severe and frequent stomach sounds. Just plain old sounds, like when you're hungry. Well, still, that is, and you'll see that a lot of times, that sound in the stomach, when you're moving from a fired, acid ash, protein-rich diet into a raw food diet. You can feel those. And it's not necessarily, it acts like hunger pains, but it's not. It's like feeding an ulcer. You know, there's a time where you have to let your stomach and bowels push past an event, even though you're uncomfortable with it. Sometimes you can't always be comfortable in the art of getting well. So, you know, you push that. You let your stomach, and even if you throw up, because if you get that and you start to feel nauseated, that's your body pulling these toxins out of your liver, gallbladder, your bowel wall there, and you might upchuck it. That's why sometimes you want to push things a little further. Don't eat where you're full. Push away from the table a little hungry. You'll detox better. You know, when your stomach has those type of things, you're used to eating something, you pull away. Let your stomach realign and get used to the new world. It'll pull and clean itself. All these little things like that. You learn as you go along here. Those I had them all the time. I started, see, here we go. You had those stomach sounds all the time when you didn't eat, but when you eat, they went away. This is when you have to push this envelope here. This is when you want to eat the fruits, and then let that stomach sound come, let that come, let that, and even though, again, you might even get nauseated with those stomach sounds. Okay. But your body's working on it, trying to get something out of your stomach or liver there. I can just tell you, I've been there. I went through things like that. Other people have. I started taking off. See, you're freaking out too much. That's your adrenal glands, man. You freak out over too much. I started taking all kinds of antacid meds for stomach. See, you get yourself in trouble taking all these meds. Through the whole thing, I was juicing, but at the same time, I was eating bad. Well, come on, man. You probably were combining your foods wrong, creating all kinds of gas and all kinds of stomach distress. You know, you can't eat juices or drink juices either way and combine them with bad food. No. Remember, you don't combine fruit with anything. You eat fruit, you eat you can eat fruits and berries together. But you don't want to eat fruits and berries and vegetables together. No vegetables should be eaten alone, and your fruits and berries eaten alone, and of course melons should be eaten alone of themselves. And you never do protein and starch together. Those are the worst ones. I also started detoxing and I felt bad, so I stopped. And in essence, I messed up my body. Yeah, you freaked out too much, young man. So, pull yourself back into a balance there. Start, when you're radical like that, put yourself into a balance means that you're going to go to a fruit breakfast, a salad for lunch, and then a lighter supper of some sort. Maybe some guacamole, maybe some more fruits. Get that to where you're in balance. The stomach pains are subsided; they're all gone. The hunger sounds or spasms and things like that, and let all that just kind of clear. I'd go use some herbs. I'd use obviously going after the lymphatic system. I'd use the stomach and bowel formula to help clean the stomach area and the GI tract, and I would go that way as well. And then at a certain point when I felt pretty stabilized, get rid of the vegetables. Kick it up another notch. Remember? Emerald, kick it up another notch. But you're freaking out over stuff that you don't freak out over, you know. Now I'm still scared. I haven't gotten tested to be 100% sure I don't have HIV. I don't get any sense about it. This month would mark my 5th month, and I plan on doing so in a few days. Would you stop it? You know, you're clean. Feel free. Enjoy that. I already convinced myself I have. See, that becomes a problem when you're convincing yourself. You're letting your mind and emotions rule you, lad. And that's as bad as having it. I mean, because you're going to stress yourself out. That's weak adrenals, of course. So you're going to give yourself anxieties over that. Man. Well, I did have a little Indian food at lunch. Well, a couple of girls stopped in up here, and I saw them pulling the Indian. I thought, well, I'd like to have some Indian once a week. Anyway, I will die, and I cry every night that I have HIV and will break my parents' heart. What? Man, pull yourself out of this shit. I have no idea how to tell them and everything they did. Come on, stop it. Would you stop it? You need to pull yourself out of this. You don't have it. You're free from it. Don't worry about it. And you know what? Stuff happens. If your parents and your brothers and everybody around you are not sympathetic to life and understand life by now, maybe you shouldn't care. Because, you got to become your own man, son. You got to become strong. And with the self a little bit. You need to spend some time alone and realize nothing's going to hurt you ever. Your bodies might end up getting problems, but you can fix those once you learn the laws of each level. But you got to pull yourself back and get strong in the self, son. Very important fact. Your adrenals are down, I can tell you already. And so you want to get them up and get stronger where you can meet the challenge of anything. I got HIV, okay, because you got the awareness. You got people that have done this all over the place. So you can do this yourself. But you've already checked it up to 5 months. That's plenty. I wouldn't even give it a thought. You're done, man. But worrying about it will pull that to you. What you put your attention on, you're pulling it to yourself. You don't want it, don't put your attention on it. These are secrets that the spiritual giants have tried to teach man for a long time. Your attention is pretty much where you put yourself. So if you want to know God, put your attention on that. If you want to know HIV, keep putting your attention on that. I mean, you pull into your experience that which you put your attention on. So I can tell you already, man, you got to start thinking spiritually and pulling yourself back into a sense where you're controlling your mind and emotions. And being young like that, I can say your adrenals are probably the big tag on you. But you could have some other issues like parathyroid, thyroid, which gives you inferiority kind of in terms of not good enough, that sort of thing. And let me tell you, you're plenty good enough. So quit, you got to get away from all of this. You need to work on your endocrine glands, get your parathyroid healthy. I am depressed. I eat bad food. I cry. I get chills. I had back pain. Well, fix yourself. Man, this is Victor. We're giving you the secrets of everything. I'm giving you guys the secrets to the bank. I'm giving you all the secrets to health and vitality and the secrets to awakening yourself up again. It's all there. And there's plenty of Eckmasters helping. A lot of you are being visited by Fubi Quants and the other Eckmasters. I've been coming to a lot of you guys. So you're being helped a lot. Just relax, kick back, start becoming awake again. Quit thinking so much and worrying so much. That means your endocrine glands are weak. And so get them strong. It'll have a residual kick into your etheric bodies and make them strong again. And then you're strong. So work on strength, lad. Because all this can be corrected. Back pain is the kidneys, the chills is the low thyroid. Going back to the, how you see yourself. And when you're low like that, you can get into the chilblains when it's cold, but you can also not love yourself, not care for yourself. That's all thyroid, parathyroid. Interesting, huh? Ego. But the ego in reverse. Doesn't hurt to care for yourself. Not narcissistically, but it doesn't care that you care for yourself because you're the only rider on your road. I have white gums, which makes me think I have 100%. Oh, would you stop it? But white gums is saying that you probably have some poor circulation around the gums. Sounds like you have a lot of lymphatic problems in the head area. Get used to pulling your eyes and then telling me what your eyes show you. That'll help you right there. I've had small fever around April. Perfect. Maybe you need a bigger one. With severe stomach sounds. See, that's not HIV. You've got something going on in your GI tract, son. And you want to take a look at your eyes and see what's going on at your age. You, no question, probably have chronic bowels. So, look at that. You have some probably chemistry or something in you. You're getting spasms in your stomach areas or your bowel sounds. Like everything was coming from my stomach. It could be, but stomach is up here. So how far up do you feel it? Your stomach isn't that far down, so how far down do you feel that? Some people say stomach and they go right over their intestines. So your small intestines is right where most people point to their stomach. Your stomach is up under here. Your rib cage under there. Here's your colon wrapping around and somewhat under the rib there, and then you have your small bowel right in the center. So it sounds like you're getting bowel sounds, which is spasticity, of course, meaning that either you've got worms or something like that, or you just need to detoxify and get all these acids out of these tissues. You're spasming because you have a little low-level inflammation. There's no question. Lower back is telling me you have kidneys. That's telling me you have lymphatics. Your thyroid's telling me you have the chills. Your cry, which tells me you have adrenals like me. When you get beat up with all these sick people, it gets you. I've had small fever. People, you got to have fevers. Like everything, I was coming from my stomach. I had lots of headaches. And that can come from the stomach. By the way, most of your frontal headaches are stomach. So it sounds like your stomach is very over-acidic. So remember, there's interstitial, not just in the chamber of your stomach, in the wall of your stomach. So sounds like you've got to do some detoxing, lad, with the stomach teas and the stomach and bowel formulas. I had lots of headaches. I have flu-like symptoms all of these months before. See, this is your lymphatic system. But this is the system that virals will stay in forever if you allow them. And remember, virals are proteins, not little bacteria. Flu-like symptoms is just simply telling you need to detox. I don't care what they attribute it to. Everything is tied to fevers. I had watery eyes. I can't think. I can't talk properly. I am scared every day. I think about these every day, and I think my life is ruined, and I will die soon. Would you stop it? Now, would you send me a picture of your eyes, and I'll go over that. Look at your stomach. Tell me who you are, and I'll go over it, and everybody, I'm sure, is interested in seeing what your eyes look like, what your stomach area looks like, so let's look at that, man. Give me a good picture of your eyes. You're not going to die soon, none of this, but you want to get in and make your body healthy, I never told anyone about this simply because I can't tell anyone. Only people I have are my family, which is my mom, dad, and younger brother. I am scared to tell them about the encounter. That was just a little bitty encounter, man. I mean, that's a nothing. You're a young lad. You should have a long history of ladies and all kinds of things. So, Don't get freaked out over one little encounter where your condom broke. I mean, I don't live in that world of fear. And I don't know, I guess people use condoms today, but I don't know. Everybody needs to detox themselves and get themselves clean and stay clean. And if you do get involved in someone that's like that, then detox yourself. It'll clean it right out. That's how you clean yourself, is detoxification. And everybody has to clean themselves once in a while. I mean, motors only in your car only last so long, and then you have to have them rebuilt, cleaned. So you got to get over this. It sounds like your adrenals are really down, man. That's why you're so full of fear and anxiety. There's your adrenals. So you strengthen that up, and you'll feel better. Get your kidneys. Go after the proper things. If you want to fear anything, fear a lack of kidney filtration. Don't fear that you, after 5 months tested constantly, you have way undue fear, and now you're going to get your adrenals way down. So, no, lose all that, man. I have been to 4 doctors, and all of them tell me it's the anxiety. But deep inside, I know my body. I know how my body was before. This isn't anxiety, but it's HIV or maybe Hep C. Well, you will have a viral load if you do. But I say you have more lymphatic stagnation than anything. This is your lymph system, but at your age, you're going to see lymphatic problems, kidney problems, lower back problems, skin problems, adrenal problems, anxiety majorly. And a lot of young ones have the parathyroids and pituitaries, and so they're short or they're too tall, they're depressed, it just goes on and on and on. We have a world to fix. We have a world to fix. And so, power up, baby. Power up. All right? Victor, power up, because you want to get healthy and then help others. How not to have this kind of fear. By this point, I'm convinced I have what should I do? Guide me in some direction, Dr. Morse. I only have faith in you. Get rid of the fear, get yourself strong, and get yourself healthy, lad. And sell the God rules with me. Come on. All right? People with fear, their lives are shallow. They're scared of everything. But get your adrenals strengthened and travel the God world, son. Like I mentioned, I am down 24/7, can't laugh with my family, even eat a lot, feel sick, I sneeze a lot. You need to detox yourself. Get on the proper diet. You probably have fungus or worms or whatever. Go on. That's why we do get the first kit in there. It's a deworming kit as well. And get on it, see what you see. Have fun with it. This is meant to have fun and meant to get you well. And you're freaking out too much, Victor. And life just won't be fun. You freak out so much. Your endocrine glands are down. That's what's wrong with you. Your endocrine glands are down. And when your endocrine glands are down, you become a worrywart. You're worried about everything. Everything's anxiety rich. So Victor. All right, settle down, Victor. There you go. All right, use the word Hugh. Hugh, Victor. Hugh, Victor. Hugh, Victor. Okay, good. Now that we're settled down, let's see. I got a whole line of... My mother is going through excessive weight loss. Let's see. My mother's going through excessive weight loss. She was 110 pounds 2 months ago, and now is only 94. At 5 feet 2 inches tall, she's very anemic, suffers from an abdominal aneurysm, and has lost one of her kidneys. Oh, that's sad. When she was a child, even. Well, that's at least, if she lost her kidney, one of her kidneys as a child, and she doesn't have lymphedema, and she's still alive, and she's your mom, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It does show the lymph system can find its way back home again. I am unsure of what road to take when it comes to treating how severely underweight she is. The doctors claim they can't find anything wrong. Do you have any suggestions on where I should begin? Only one. What do you guys think? This is last name's Ellison. Giovanni. Well, my friend, there's only one direction I would go in, but I'll tell you, it's not going to make everybody around you happy. And I think most of the YouTubers here is going to tell you the same thing. You know, at this date, it's not hyperthyroid or any of those sort of things. It's definitely going to be malabsorption. All right? So there's only, and medical doctors have no clue of malabsorption because they don't understand the lymph system. You know, the lack of understanding of the great lymphatic system puts you way out in I don't know land. But, you know, malabsorption is interstitial lymphatic agglomeration, or stagnation, or constipation, any word you want to associate with it. Go back to what did she lose when she was a young child? Exactly, one of her vital eliminative organs to the lymphatic system. She's only got one more, and then what? The skin. So hopefully her thyroid's up and she sweats a lot to help make up for that last kidney. Because the medical doctors don't realize it. You guys got to realize each kidney has a whole side of the body that it's responsible for. Oh, ambulance pulled up out there, huh? Nothing. Everybody's okay here. But malabsorption in the process of getting well leaves you even skinnier still. And you can be pouring in the juices, highest chemistry of nutrition, highest magnetics of nutrition, and you'll still lose weight. You got to get away from the weight thinking and get into the second phase of a food processor called the human body, and that is absorption. And absorption through the villi, through the intestinal wall. Most nutrition is small bowel. There are traces or micro traces that come in the first part of the colon. So all interstitial spaces need to be fluid, just like blood's flowing. And we know lymph is more like a tortoise than a hare, but nevertheless, your lymph needs to move these systemic acids out of the body. And when that's not happening, she's not only becoming malabsorbed, she's now facing Crohn's, IBS. There must have been an accident out there. I don't see any other cars. Here the cops coming. Somebody, lady delivering a baby right in the middle of the road. Uh-oh. So it's hard to say. I hope nobody was ran over. Huh. I don't know. I did see a guy one time get hit on the freeway. That wasn't pretty. About by 4 cars. That wasn't good. Anyway, abdominal aneurysm. All right. So, when I'm looking at an older person like this, and she might even be in her 60s, but to nowadays, 60-year-old shows an older person. So, I don't know. But that's enough to say here that you want to look at several things. You want to go after her last kidney. You want to save that kidney and get that kidney filtering. You want to go after her adrenal glands. They probably took the other one with it. So you want her adrenal glands. You want to make healthy that which she has. You know, when you're down that type of, when you lose vital organs like that, that's even more. Oh yeah, someone knocked over. Oh, it's a workout center. No, oh no, no. We have a little medical clinic over there. Somebody didn't make it out of the medical clinic. Oh, vaccination or antibiotic or something? But aneurysms I don't like. So you want to strengthen connective tissue in your mother. That's going to be a parathyroid, right? What else did you tell me about her that makes me think something else? All right. You told me she was 5 feet 2 inches tall, right? So where does that take my attention? What controls your height? Growth hormones, right? You could argue maybe out of the thymus a little bit, but we're mainly going to the pituitary for growth hormones. But the thymus is involved in that too, believe it or not. So really, you're looking at pituitary. Well, a stretch to the parathyroid? Absolutely. So You want to go after the parathyroid and her pituitary. You're going to want help with this one. And then you're going to go after that kidney, adrenal, the GI tract on her. This is a case where you might, I would say for the first month, you might not give her a lymphatic formula. Or just the lymphatic one in the kit. And you can do half of that one. You don't want to pull too much on her lymph because she's minus a kidney. And you want to make sure she can sweat. And you want to take care of this kidney really nice. And that's why I would get a picture of your mom's eye and what's going on with the kidney here. And you can also see what happened to the other kidney by now, I'm sure. So real important, because you've got to open these doors to fix malabsorption, and she's only got one kidney to do it. So I don't know how successful that'll be with one kidney, but you got to go that way. And you got to get that body of hers hydrated and getting this lymph hydrated and moving. And as she begins to move this lymph through the kidney and hopefully maybe sweat through the skin, this will start opening the pathway of absorption. But it's an uphill climb. It's an uphill climb, particularly because she's lost vital body parts of elimination. So you can't just jump in heavy elimination with her because she's lost some eliminative organs. And see, that's the problem. Acid ash diets destroy the eliminative organs. The World Health Organization has come out many times, particularly with long-term studies, and said that. We see that in my 45 years of clinical work. So, you know what? And we can prove it because when we reverse that, everything repairs and rebuilds. So, pretty much we got it down. I mean, there's a lot of millions of questions, but we got pretty much the foundation down pretty much, I think. You can always grow that, too. It doesn't help that she used to be a cigarette smoker either, or she used to be. She's not now, okay? I am unsure of what road to take when it comes to treating her severely underweight. She is. The doctors claim they don't know why. Do you have it? Yeah, I do. I do. Get her on a raw food diet. Get her on salads right now. Get her on some guacamole and get her on fruit for breakfast, that sort of thing, and slowly move her away from the salads. Get her onto the green drinks and then move her into almost all fruits, berries, and melons. You're not going to like how thin she gets, but realize that if you don't fix this, she'll starve. I mean, she's just going to get thinner and thinner and thinner and thinner until she passes, you know. The other kidney will fail and blah, 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 blah. Because you have to understand what's making all this happen. You have to focus on the cause of this problem. You have malabsorption. We get that. Check. But what's causing the malabsorption? That's a lymphatic problem. That's the only thing it is and can be. Check. So how do we deal with that? Okay. So that's what all these vids are about, is how you deal with a gigantic sewer system now that we're aware of it and how it works. How do we now help the millions that are suffering from it in advanced stages, because allopathy decided to treat the earlier stages and suppress them. You don't want to suppress anything. Your body loves to get it out. Your body loves to get rid of. So good luck, and don't have fear with that. You know, it's just another human body, and we treat all human bodies the same. You know, their dietary is the same. She might have different body parts than a man. She might be a different stocky build. You know, in Ayurvedic, you have all your different shapes and sizes, but you know what? We're a species, guys. We're not a blood type. We're a species. And yes, you might have some that require more of this or more of that, okay. But in reality, when you get that body up into those high levels, you have to understand a wild stallion out in the prairies out west. These big boys only eat grass. There's no protein to them. Matter of fact, the biggest, strongest animals on the planet do not consume protein. You don't walk up to an elephant and say, "Hey, man, let's fight." You know, I mean, these guys don't eat protein, yet they can just take their little nose and go, "Pink." I mean, you're going to have to understand. Look at a horse. Look at these animals. So we've been brainwashed. If you want to become big and strong, eat what the big and strong animals eat: fruits, berries, melons, vegetables. I mean, between your apes and between your elephants and your horses and your rhinos, you've got some very powerful beasts. wait a minute, if protein made you so big and strong, how come they're not protein eaters? Because it doesn't. It creates acidosis and then starts to break you down. Your muscles will look big for a while until everything starts deteriorating, breaking down on you, and then, oh, that wasn't worth it? For a short-term year or two of looking, pretty beefed up, you have a hell of a price to pay for it. Dr. Morse says a raw diet is better than some cooked items like sweet potatoes, sprouted quinoa, sprouted brown rice, sprouted red rice, and wild rice. I mean, if you want sprouts, by all means, they're raw. But again, they're of the vegetable community, but they're raw. If you knew how to play with sprouts properly, you could get that chlorophyll so far out there that it would act extremely astringent. I've told you some stories about that. But sweet potatoes, I mean, if you're going to eat something cooked, hang on just 2 seconds. Yeah, thanks. Sorry about that. Now, where was I? He does say sprouted is better than not sprouted to get nutrients. Well, if you're not, you've got enzyme inhibitors, right? That's obvious. And you have high phytic acid. Phytic acid, real high in unsprouted, like beans and grains and things like that. And even though quinoa and some of the, maybe millet has maybe an alkaline ash, most of your beans and grains are acid ash forming foods. Unfortunately, even your breads and things like this, these are all acid ash forming foods. Now, then there is coconut aminos by Dynamic Health, coconut tree sap and sea salt. Coconut tree sap? You know what I think is, then again, the mind and how we deal with the mind. Tree sap. We don't have to go to tree sap to be healthy. We don't have to do that. We don't, look at what we do. I love maple syrup, but look what we have to do to get it. How much cooking do we have to do to get that down into a syrup like that from a sap, And it's just that, what's wrong with just eating fruits and berries and melons? If you want a big salad, okay. Maybe avocado, guacamole. What's wrong with all of that? I don't know. We always have to get into stool implantation, urine therapy, sap eating, fungus eating, palm scum eating. I mean, what else is out there? I don't know. I don't think naturally we would go and pop on a coconut and get the sap. I wouldn't want to hurt the tree, first of all, but then to pop a tree and not to take the sap out of there, no. That's the tree's food. The tree is giving us the food, the coconut. And a blessing that is, I say. Can you find out if all of the above are, I believe, borderline just above the pH of being acidic per natural pH? Well, all your sprouts are probably going to be on the alkaline ash, definitely. And it's funny how that you can just take an acid ash food, sprout it, and make it an alkaline ash just through photosynthesis. I mean, nature's so cool. Chemistry is so cool, isn't it? But these would be the type of foods that you'd want to have. Nothing wrong with having a baked sweet potato once in a while, especially with a nice salad. I like my Indian food once a week. Once in a while, I like vegetable korma, and that's got it's got some yogurt in it. I hate that. That's where I get some mucus. It's like use coconut milk or something. But and then if you want to have sprouts, there's no problem with that at all. I wasn't a Victor Kavankis or whatever his name was, Survival to the 21st Century. That guy did not look good. He never looked good for some reason. He just never looked vital. And he was, him and David Wolf and all were at a big expo one time, and all arguing which is the best way to eat: a sproutitarian, a fruitarian, a vegetarian. It's like, who cares at what level you want to exist at? But you just don't knock the rest of us who want to exist at our levels. If everything was perfect, everybody would be a frugivore, would be a fruitarian. And that would just be the natural way of it. Like your horse just naturally eats grass, we would naturally just pick fruit and eat them. Just naturally without thinking. But we're a little more perverted because the mind is in the earlier stages of development at the Homo sapiens species at a certain level, and be developing more self-awareness through the mind. Interesting. But would all of them also then produce an alkaline ash after digestion? I want to say pretty much. I'm not sure about sweet potatoes, but I'm pretty sure the sprouted, especially if you get some good greens on there, I'm pretty sure you're going to see more of an alkaline ash food there. Pretty sure. I don't know why about wild rice. Probably pretty much like you said, around the balanced set. Probably. According to most thought, rice is probably somewhat in the neutral stage anyway, but being a complex carb, I would say that you probably would have more of a slightly more of an acidic hit than you would an alkaline hit. To really get that alkaline hit more, you're going to have to be in your fruits, your berries, your melons, and your vegetables, and vegetable fruits, That would be my take on that. The rices and sweet potatoes wouldn't be considered raw, but would the coconut sap be okay in raw diet? It would be, I would think. But that's if you don't have to do anything with the sap and you're just doing the sap. I don't know if I would want to do I'm just thinking of sap of trees. And my gardens, I'm always working around sap. I don't like how that does on your hands, how you have to get gasoline to take it off. I don't know. Don't know how I think about that. I don't see the need to do it though. Tasting it, maybe. But would the coconut sap be okay in the raw diet? I don't know how to answer that. I just don't know how to answer that because I would be afraid to consume sap without refining it to more of a liquidity. But in refining it more into a liquidity, I'm going to add heat. And adding heat, I'm going to gglomulate the bees. Well, I'm going to get rid of the bees, basically, the waters. And I'm going to gglomulate the lipids. So, all your fat soluble items are going to gglomulate, and all your water solubles, like your B's and your flavonoids and C's and stuff, they're going to evaporate away. Also, Dr. Morse has said raw almonds are alkaline. Well, I don't know how alkaline. Almonds and pecans are more, I'll say less protein, less acidic. These are you're more neutral. You're looking for that neutral position, I take it. I would say your almonds are more to that neutral side from what my research, but you guys can do a lot more research and find out with that. But when you look at geographical locations of and the growth of different trees and what they produce and stuff like that, that was one of my theses in naturopathic school that I made. I had 5 theses to write in naturopathic school, and I made up one. And they gave me the subject matter, which I had to expand on, of 4 others. So I got to thinking early on how the different changes of environment changes the content of soil, mineral-wise, also, the amino acid or the protein content of the foods, that sort of thing, the further north you go. So it's interesting, the further cold you get into the alkaline weather, the soils and everything become alkaline. When you go into the tropics where it's highly acidic, environmentally, everything becomes alkaline. It's just that balance, a homeostasis. Man being more of an islander species, the balance is healthier for him in the islands. When we go into the north and we seek the balance through protein diets, it wrecks the body. And to me, that's just another proof that we're not protein eaters. Because the minute you kick up proteins, and I'll say this to any of you in pain, if you're in a lot of pain, get rid of proteins for a week or two until the pain goes down, and then go have you a big steak. And then potatoes too. Have a big baked potato with it. Oh, if you want a Coke, have it too. And then you tell me how you feel. And what happened to that pain that was there that's gone, but I can tell you what you're going to feel. Also, let's see. I don't know if almonds are alkaline, but my statement was more to the alkaline side, less acidic. So would they also give off an alkaline ash after digestion? I'm going to say almonds probably are kind of like a wild rice. My guess is they're on the slightly acidic side, but you know what? Ford Heritage wrote a book years ago, Facts in the Composition About Foods, I think it was. It's still out, but it's 40 years old, but it's loaded with a lot of nice facts like that. I like to see some good books come out with facts like that, where there was good research showing the ash and, all the percentages and all that. So it'd be fun stuff. Fun stuff to look at, I think Dr. Morse should write a book explaining acid and alkaline foods in detail and then what ashes they give off. Well, we only understand that so much. I don't know if enough to write a book about, but we only all understand that so much. And I was taught by the greats. Back in the, believe this or not, back in the later 1800s, earlier 1900s, there was a lot of medical doctors too, heavily involved in natural hygiene. And these guys just tore this stuff apart. And there was a lot of good research back then. I don't see good research done today. Now, that might mean I'm not looking in the right places, but, and there's probably not enough people asking those good questions like you are. But it's enough to say that any type of nut, and I don't know how much that applies to the coconut, how much we're moving into an alkaline ash. Because anything that dominates of amino acids is going to dominate in an acid ash. But the acid ash, I'm sure there's pHs of that ash, going right on down into some lower pHs, no question. So a lighter acid ash would definitely, obviously, have a lot less impact in terms of initiating the calcium buffering system or the cholesterol buffering system. Because you have to think about that. If you're predominantly an alkaline ash eater and you have an acid ash meal here and there, who cares? Because the dominance of your focus is alkaline. But if you're an acid ash eater and you only have an alkaline ash meal once in a while, you can't think that's going to get you healthy, because there's no way. What are you doing the bulk of the time? What's a vibrational back to the body most of the time there? But these are good questions. I'm going to say your sprouts are going to have more of an alkaline ash, and your potatoes and rice, and maybe your almonds are going to have a little slightly on the acid side ash, and as you go down to your pecans, more down into the lower pH acids ash. It's just going to be my thing out there. But there's a lot of us out there, so you guys want to look up this more and more and find these ashes and stuff. If you can find them, that would be great. I don't think there's a lot of thought around that, especially the ash after things. Now, there's universities that have talked a lot about that. The one we read to you is talking about the calcium buffering system. It wasn't Harvard, but it was a couple of others. These are good research finds, and to me, they don't necessarily are apropos to the medical community. A lot of this medical research is fitting us perfectly. It doesn't. Excuse me. Could have been that vegetable korma today, but their research doesn't fit the medical community. Matter of fact, you have medical doctors denying research all the time now, and it's like, oh yeah, I kind of like it. And that Science News, I love those guys. I mean, a lot of medical stuff, but I love those guys, because it's like all these cancer studies that the medical doctors claim that backs up their claims, they can't repeat them. They've tried to copy them. They can't repeat them. My opinion, if something works once, it's going to work twice, and it's going to work the same on everybody. Now, given there's herbs that once in a while ineffective on you because your body doesn't want it, or it has a negative effect because your body doesn't want that particular herb at that time, yes. But not like the medical community. Amazing, though. So, Dr. Morse, I have a question on behalf of my father-in-law's father. Father-in-law's father. Oh, okay, I got it. He was operated last year due to prostate cancer, and after they put him on chemotherapy. It's funny. Cut out the prostate. Oh, we got it. Yeah, but now you got to do chemo just in... What? I mean... So, they put him on chemotherapy, and they want to put him on chemotherapy again. What would you suggest he should do? Ask the medical doctor, ask his oncologist what he's buying this week. I mean, I think your father-in-law's father needs a pep talk and needs to get real, because you're now, they're just pretty much asking your father-in-law's father to kill himself, to let them kill him, because the insanity of giving anybody acids on top of a highly acidic system is ridiculous. But when you give the pH of the acid that they do in chemotherapy, that's criminal. And I'll say this till I'm blue in the face. It is criminal to give chemotherapy to a human being. But we do it. The FDA, have at it. So who are these people channels for? The positive forces or the negative forces? We're talking in duality. You know, you got to think about that. You don't have to burn someone up and try to burn them up to kill a few cells that were burnt because that area was stagnant, and now you've ruined their whole body. Oh, you're going to get me going, man. These guys are bad boys. You're going to get me going. He is a Costa Rica. He's in Costa Rica currently. Oh, there's a healing center we have down there. You might want to hook up with it down there and get that them detoxing right there. He's in a perfect place. You can go over to the healing center there. They'll, excuse me. Hey, they'll work with him with the raw foods and detox him. Absolutely. That'd be a perfect place. He's in a perfect place right now. You'd have to get with the Artie group, you know, and there's websites. It should all be on our site here. And have him take care of you down. Take care of him down there. They'll take care of him. But if he's going to walk up and say, "Okay, I'll do it again," then I think your father-in-law's father is needs to man up and become real and start asking questions. Is this juice going to hurt me? Is this Jesus juice? I mean, man is just walking up, having these people that don't know what causes any problems, can't cure anything, juice them. Oh, and I think he has been trying to reach you. Oh, well, we were down in the hurricane, that's for sure. Our communications went down. We didn't have communications for a week. The girls were trying to get it out in certain ways through cell phones and stuff, but whew, that was tough. Freaking tired of hurricanes. I've been through several of them. They're not fun. The aftermath is, well, the day of the hurricane is a bitch because the wind is so, it's scary for sure, because everything goes sideways. So, you know, you're at 100, 120 mile an hour winds constantly. And in any hurricane I've been in, I've always been in 100, 120 easy mile per hour winds. I did see gusts of 175 to 200 and what they could do. Frightening. But it's the aftermath and all the generators and the power lines down and the sweating and then, you know, it's just the whole 9 yards. And if you don't have it's a nightmare. This person's from Seattle, Washington. I referred him to your website. Thanks, Joel. You know, he's got it. Just have me look at the YouTube videos and have him get knowledge up on chemo, because, you know, you've got to pay for everything you do or let others do to you. So make sure you're pretty loaded with knowledge of the effect of what others are going to do to you, or what you hope they're going to do to you, that's more of a pleasant. I mean, after prostate surgery and they remove the prostate, leave these people alone. No. Oh, no. These guys are... It is vital that you guys teach this world about the lymph system. That's all I got to say. You guys are a vital part of this world's growth and this world's understanding. Don't count yourselves out. Some of you guys and gals are a little timid, I know, and stuff, and that's okay. But remember, the divine is using you because you're open to it. And it's using you because you need help, and it'll help you help others. So, pretty fun stuff. Pretty cool stuff. Your life can change dramatically having this level of fun. Subject: my husband is in severe pain. Okay, so you know immediately when you use the word pain, there's a blockage, okay? But we can also literally 99.99% of the time walk to what side of chemistry? Okay, we agree that pain is the acid side of chemistry. Agreed. Okay, so now all we have to do no, dentist. Now all we have to do is understand what system deals with the acid side of chemistry. Oh God, there's only one. That's hard. There's a lymphatic system. Okay, so now we get that the medical doctors do not understand that system well. Use your imaginations, guys. Where's the eliminative organs of that? Use your imagination if you can't use knowledge that the books haven't written it down for you yet. Use your consciousness. That's where reality is, and reality isn't in books written by others who had a warped consciousness or an incomplete level of understanding of that being nice. So, consciousness is where all the information is. By becoming more conscious, you have access to more knowledge. It's like when you're trying to think of something you studied before. When you become more conscious, you don't have to think. The information is right there for you. It comes right into you. You don't have to ask for it. It's right there. Amazing. So we don't trust in that enough. We think we have to go find a book where it's in it. And the trouble is, these are people that are studied and written way back when. And half of them didn't know what they were studying and wrote down stuff that weren't even true. So, don't always look to the books. Look to God and reality and nature and life. That which is living and breathing. Look to yourself, your higher self. I'm going to use that word. I hate that word. But look to the you for your information. And it's there. It's all there. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to think about it. See, that's the interesting thing about this. All the information in creation and out of the mind comes out of consciousness. So if you become conscious, that's all there. You don't need the mind. This is just a game. And if you're too involved in the game, it can become very serious for something that's here today and gone tomorrow. All right. So my husband's in severe pain. He was a first responder at the World Trade Center. Okay. So here's the thing. There is no question. These first responders at the World Trade, there's so much toxins. Holy crap. That's the only hope these guys have. Detox, 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 because these chemicals, being especially in those that lymph systems are stagnant, these chemicals can sit in the body and blow back on the cell for years, cause cancer, all kinds of things, because it just becomes part of the acidic matrix and part of that which damages cells. So all first responders of anything toxic like that need to detox, no question, and they need to learn how to do this right. They learn how to detox internally. Because you inhale anything, if you can smell it, you ate it. You ate it. So I've always said this, all you great first responders need to detox the lymph system out big time. Get yourself healthy. You've helped others, now help yourself. And spend many days down there inhaling all these, I know, honey. Resulting into the loss of 1/2 of his lung capacity. I know it. Well, that's where I would use the lung formula, no question. I love my lungs too, but use the lung formula. You can also sip on 3-lung tea. And what this does, it starts to loosen up. At the same time, fruits, berries, and melons only. Fruits, berries, and melons only. The reason is it'll add to his electrical system and make breathing easier. Okay? It'll also start to detox better. It also enhances the function of cells, so it'll enhance neurotransmitters out of the adrenals, again making breathing easier. So there's a lot of things that it will do. It'll also start to break up hardened sputum and chemicals in the lungs and all through you. So there's all kinds of cool things that fruits, berries, and melons do to you in your process of getting well. So that's where I would turn right off. That's number one essential. In that, any tissue that's been damaged, he'll rebuild that. He will rebuild that. How of his lung capacity and the ability to perform his duties as a New York City firefighter. I've had him in here, dear. I've had him in here. You know, you got to go after his health. And yours too, sweetie. Don't forget yourself. But you and your husband go after this together. Let your husband review this video, but he needs to get on this fruits, berries, and melons. This will start to clean out the lungs, any type of scar tissue and things. You got to stay raw for an extended period of time, but any scar tissue, any damage like that will be broken up and rebuilt. Again, getting the adrenals up and all that stress, you're increasing neurotransmitters that'll increase the breathing capacity. Another thing you got to remember is the stomach, and it's the head of the autonomic nervous system also controls breathing. So having a good clean GI tract is vital to this. So really, clean and strengthen as the mottos of us. Our motto is clean and strengthen the human body. And cleaning is vital to strengthening. If you don't remove this acid stagnation in the lymph systems, there's no getting rid of it. There's no getting out of pain. There's no getting out of these things. And so you can tell this responder. And the problem with these responders, they're like everybody else. Their kidneys are not filtering. Their lymph systems are down. And yet they're subjected to all these toxins. So it's just icing on the cake. You know, they just more suffering, more acids in them. And then they go down. And so learning how to detox properly is essential. You know, you can detox externally with chemicals. You can internally. At the young age of 52, he was put out of a job. The job he loved more than anything. I can get him back in it. If he'll follow what I tell him, I'll get him back. If he wants to at 52. But if he wants it, I'll get him back there. The docs did nothing but put him on, of course. Put him on steroids and of course, that's all they do. It's like, are you serious, guy? You don't get anybody better. You don't save anybody. Come on. You know, yep. And now he's on statin by several things. Oh, prep load. He's on Synthroid as well. Holy crap, honey. Well, you know what? We can get him off all of it. He's on all kinds. This guy is on meds out the butt. That's, you know what, they're taking full advantage of your husband. Now they want to add another for his arthritis. Come on. Arthritis, huh? So what does that tell you? And this will also correlate with the fact that being a first responder, inhaling all these acid fumes and all these chemicals, not the ability to get rid of them. Okay? How's that tied to arthritis? And what system is it tied to? It's tied to his lymphatic system. It's a broken record again here. Broken record. Here's the lymph system down again. But that's arthritis. That's systemic acidosis. That's chronic. So when you're waking up to arthritis, which is like lupus and Lyme's and fibromyalgia, this is systemic acidosis. Most of the time you're in a chronic state, you know, to get to this level. He's feeling 3 pH, and his bacteria. That's the one thing. You don't want him on any bacteria, any antibiotics. No, your husband will just get in more pain and more pain. They're killing the bacteria he needs to break down the acids that's hurting his joints. You've got to get his kidneys filtering to get this system hydrated and get these acids moving to the lymph nodes. Don't kill the bacteria in his body because we need them in the lymph nodes. That's how you take 3 pH systemic metabolitic acids and you get them down to 6 so you can pee standing up or sitting down and not on your knees. You know, you start peeing 3 pH, you just thought you caught the most wicked UTI you've ever caught, burn pain. And the only reason you pee that, low bacteria count. You know, these guys blame them for everything. I guess if you don't know what causes anything, you got to blame something. But this is ridiculous. And so they're going to kill your husband here. I hate to tell you, but look at all the crap. This is not good. You know, and so many of these people die from the treatment of these things as opposed to the things themselves. It'll startle you. So it's just telling his arthritis. That's just systemic acidosis, honey. You tell me that he has weak kidneys and adrenals. You fix his kidneys, get his kidneys to filter, and we can pull all this out of him, rebuild him, and get him back strong again. Guaranteed. I mean, come on. His arthritis is his hands and knees and feet is worsening every day. And it's going to. It's going to. Because every day he's walking, every day he's breathing, every day he's creating metabolitic waste. He's eating all of that. So if you're not removing the metabolitic waste you're creating every day, there's going to be a point where you reach a certain saturation where serious shit's going to start happening. Popping tumors all over the place, all kinds of things can start happening to your hubby, honey. So, no. He needs to learn about the lymphatic system. It's where the arthritis, where the problems are. Fix that system, that'll clean the lungs with it. Any scar tissue, like I said, will eat itself up in time. So, it's the only way to go. It's the only way you can go. You can't go treating this way, you'll just bring him down. And it shows you a little hypothyroid. I'd be really interested to see your husband and work on him a little bit here. This was a man that was never sick in the picture of health. He wants to stop all medication, says it's not helping him anyway. It's not. And can you make any suggestions? Warmest regard, Carolyn. Dang. Carolyn, you call in here to Megan. All right? Megan or Jen B. You tell them that I wanted you to call in and get your husband set up. And I'll take a look at his case. Get me a picture of his eyes, any blood work you got on him, and hook up with one of those two and start working with them on it, and I'll look at his case personally, okay? Let me make a note on this. He helped them, we'll help him. By Jiminy Cricket. Right? That's how it works. We all help each other. Alright, this is Jasmine. Hi, Jasmine Sims. Hi, my name is Jasmine, and I have a quick question. What are your thoughts on the following products to restore the health of the body? Oh, God. Okay. All right. Colostrum.
No.
Turpentine.
No. No. No.
Enemas.
Yes.
For the last time, no.
Yes.
When needed. When needed. Turpentine.
No. No.
Colostrum.
No.
If you want to deal with mucus and if you've got a tumor and you want it to grow, go ahead. I thought it would be good for you too. So I used it years ago, only to watch all my cancer people with tumors start tumor growing. Oh, whoa. So, a few years later, I stopped using colostrum and then started being a proponent against it. And I had an Amish lady in here who took shark cartilage. She had a breast tumor. Took shark cartilage for it, right? The idea is to encase a tumor, blah, blah, blah. You hear all that crap. Well, what it did do is made the tumor grow to her chest wall. So that wasn't good. So then I had to send her down to Contreras to get some Laetrile to loosen it up a little bit off the bone. Well, it was coming down, but she didn't think I was going fast enough. So she found a nutritionist up here in St. Pete. So this nutritionist, I can help you. Oh, you need colostrum. That's the very thing you friggin' took. Almost. So, guess what happened when she took colostrum? Her tumor exploded big. The nutritionist said, I can't see you anymore, bye. So I've had a lot of experience around those things, guys, believe it or not. And so, turpentine you never want to do, brother. I'm going to tell you what, you never do turpentine. A lot of cancer around these turpentines and acetates, acetones, lacquers. A lot of body finishers, painters, serious cancers. No way. I'm glad you asked me this, Jasmine. Don't fall into this crap that's out there, honey. What's wrong with a navel orange? What's wrong with a ripe organic strawberry? A mango? as opposed to turpentine, colostrum. Enemas, if you get constipated, give yourself an enema. If you're giving yourself an enema for the health of it,
No! No.
there's nothing to say. You innervate yourself. You know, there's innervation. It's like doing too many colonics. It'll innervate you. It'll make you more constipated. You don't have to innervate yourself. These are meant to do once in a while if you need it. A good colonic, you've never had one? Yeah, clean your colon out and see how well you do, but it doesn't do anything for your small bowel. And how about interstitial spaces? How do you get the lymph moving interstitially with a colonic? I don't think so. Impactions on the wall? Okay. But you got to loosen it up as well. I've had colonics, but restrict that. You don't need a lot of colonics. You going to water wash your colon? Your raw fruits and berries will clean, even salads clean your bowel wall off real nice. You don't have to stress it and wash it and, plug you don't have to do all that. Now, I do believe in a colonic machine at the ER door, so when you walk in the emergency room, whoa, what's that? A colonic. Yeah, that. But thanks for the question, Jasmine. Appreciate it much. Because you guys don't do crap like this. Don't fall into this kind of crap. This is toxic stuff, man. Turpentine, these are toxic things. You don't go there. You hurt yourselves, and, I don't push any of that. We want to create a stable, viable, scientific modality that cures most people that come to it. And based upon chemistry and physics, that which we can prove as factual. So if we're doing stool implantation and turpentines and urine therapy, do you think that looks stable to the world? No. It looks like a bunch of wackos to a medical community. So it's like we want to stabilize ourselves. We want to make ourselves what we are. We know what's up. We know most of the answers, and we know the answers to how you know God too. So we know these things. And we can proudly say, we can help you. You don't have to go to the bizarre side of it, of life, to try to find your answers. This is Keely. Ooh, Keely. Hi, Keely. That's an interesting name. I've never heard of that name. Hi, I am very thankful for all your videos and everything you do. Thanks, Keely. Is that a male name, or it sounds like a female name? I mean, I'm working with names all around the world, guys, and I'm just a country boy, so I don't know. So don't be insulted by any stretch of the imagination. And helping people heal things, honey. But you all are helping me do it, too. And so each and every one of you are helping in your own ways, and some of you guys up there are healing some incredible cases. I'm so proud of all of you. Shane, all of you guys. You guys are really, make me proud, man. Make me proud. Makes the masters proud. You guys are getting in there, and it's just, oh, ooh, yeah. I have been very sick for a long time. Oh man, and my lymph nodes are very swollen. Yep, I already know what's wrong now. Your lymph nodes are swollen now. Where's the problem? The eliminative organs. All right? You got two problems. Constantly eating acid ash-forming foods will then create agglomeration, but then it also begins to break down the eliminative organs, and the elimination then is stopped. And now we have what you're suffering with. Everything backs up. Just like if you block your sewer system, everything backs up. There goes the septic tank, like a drain field. That's where your liquids go out, right? If you block off your drain field, your septic tank gets filling. Pretty soon, in a few days, you got a full septic tank. Where else is it going to go? In the house. No, it's the same thing in your body. Your sewer system's backing up in your house. And the proof of that is swollen lymph nodes. Infection. You have to understand what infection is. The medical doctors have put these wild, bizarre twists on things. And so immediately when you think infection, you think of bacteria instead of thinking of acidosis and systemic acid accumulation. That is toxemia. That is what this whole thing is about. You can say toxins, but the real word to these are acids. These are metabolitic wastes. And you might breathe in some acids from different sources and stuff, but this is all just chemistry. You can call them toxins if you want. But when you start backing up, things swell, right? And that's not your blood, that's your lymphatic system, lymph nodes. And it's all your kidneys. It's your kidneys, dear one. So you have to work on your kidneys and your adrenal glands and get your kidneys to start filtering. Remember this? Little Santa Claus, Christmas is coming, everybody. Oh, look, it's snowing now. Look at all that snow in there. That's what your urine wants to look like when you pee. You don't want to look clear. Why would you want to have clear urine when your body's supposed to remove all these systemic wastes? And the reason is medical doctors taught you that your urine should be clear. Your metabolic waste, they just disappear esoterically. That was what one guy said. What? I thought you guys didn't believe in esoteric stuff. I have no energy. That's your adrenals. See, your adrenals are down, honey. Your kidneys are down. You're not filtering. If this is the female, it's a male, I'm sorry. I have no energy. I felt like I am not digesting any of the food I am eating. Ooh. Well, now you want to look at the pancreas for this. You want to look at that. When you have foods just sit here, the first thing you want to do is quit eating foods that are hard to digest, and that includes salads. You want to move to the foods that are easy to digest, and those same foods, guess what? The same foods can fix the problem. How? Because they're alkaline ash foods, number one. These foods are also astringent in nature. They also hydrate the body and the lymph system. They also increase kidney performance and filtration. Oh my God, they increase nerve performance. We could just keep on going, showing you with the power of fruit and berries to your body and getting it well. Anything energetically and chemically, it enhances all the way. How can you beat that? I mean, what else are we looking for? But you want to make sure you digest your foods, I have been taking a ton of That's not good. He's been taking a ton of digestive enzymes, and you know what happens then after a while? They're going to be ineffective and even worse off. So be very careful about digestive enzymes. You want to make sure that you're eating raw foods, number one, and the easiest digesting foods on the planet that gives you the most energy. There's only a couple of categories. Fruits and berries, baby. You can throw the melons in there as well. So fruits, berries, and melons. That's why we preach the preach. Those are the three categories, and they will bring you home to Wellville each and every day, as long as you get the, ripe and organic as you can and that sort of thing. Nothing wrong with some salads and green drinks and things like that, but we're talking about higher level detox right now. I've been reading studies of how they can help digest food, but I don't know if I am taking too much. Any digestive enzyme will help digest food, but there's a point where your pancreas just completely shuts down then, and all you're working with is digestive enzymes, and that will take you into Hellville. No. It's like taking melatonin. After a while, you won't be able to sleep and still have a problem with, and made the pineal gland even worse, and that's your spiritual gland. Can't take what your glands and body needs to produce. You have to address the cause of problems, not the lack or overproduction of different constituents. You have to fix the gland that's having that problem. Do they stop natural production of enzymes? Absolutely do. Absolutely they do. You can't do that. You would be better off to take the pancreatic formula. Now, I'm just assuming that this is the problem, okay? I'm just going by what you're saying, so I'm assuming this is the problem. So let's say you had a pancreatic weakness and you're low in digestive enzymes. First of all, as we're talking, you know that pancreatic chyme has to be base, has to be alkaline around 775. So we need to have bicarbonate, we need to have these things in the bile duct. Well, what suppresses this production of something? What blocks the production or the ability of cell to produce? What could block cells in the body from performing their duties? Blood? No, unless it's a blood clot, no. Screwdriver. Yeah, that would. Yeah, no, that's not doing it. Could it be mucus and proteins, acids?
Yeah, baby.
Mm-hmm. And the proof of that is when you detox and these proteins and acids come out, the symptoms are gone. Oh. Yeah, that's a problem. Our society likes to treat. And we're treatment based in our thinking. You've got to tear that apart and go causative factors. What's the cause of this problem? I don't want to treat my symptoms because that'll take me right on into Hellville. And it doesn't work most of the time anyway, as that first responder finds out. They don't help anyway. Short term, but no. You want curing. You want a remedy. Well, you have to remove what's in. If you inhale toxins, you got to remove toxins. Well, the body doesn't always remove what it brings in. And the lymphatic system stagnation is proof of that. Mm-hmm. So ditch those digestive enzymes. Take the pancreatic formula. But I submit to you, you're going to have to go after your kidneys, adrenals, the lymphatic system, your GI tract, go after your whole body, and you will be happy you did. If you go piecemeal, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do the liver gallbladder for me, and then maybe I'll do a kidney for me tomorrow, and then forget it. You might as well not do the herbs, just do the diet, because you're just blowing in the wind. I mean, you want to start hitting the body with specific power, specific focus, specific energy. And that's what the botanicals are for. These herbs are specifically for tissues of the human body. Herbs are not made for diseases. Man created that illusion. Herbs are made for body parts and body systems. The body's made of systems. And Pat and I were trying to talk to you about some of the systems in the human body, like the lymphatic system. It's a sewer system. Well, dang, man. Look at all the mucus. Better out than in. Look at this. Hello, I am trying to cure a debilitating case of chronic Epstein-Barr virus. Please help me. All right, so first of all, Epstein-Barr virus is about the easiest viral to get out of the body there is, to be honest with you. We never have a problem detoxing Epstein-Barr, but that's not the problem. They blame Epstein-Barr on chronic fatigue, don't they? I got another take. Let's take your attention away from Epstein-Barr and let me take it right to where? Your two adrenal glands. And that's where you're going to find your problems. Epstein-Barr is like any other viral. Get rid of it, detox it out, no big deal, easy to do. You're still going to be fatigued. You're sick because, unless you get your adrenals up to detox them out, but it's your adrenal glands that are at issue here, dear one. Go after them. And you'll be glad. You'll be glad you did. Ooh, let's see what this is. This is only the second Attila I've ever heard of. Our Attila and this Attila. Although I think Attila has it with two T's. Need some advice on brain stroke. Wow. You know, I wish I could get these real quick, especially the ones on strokes and heart attacks and tumors and stuff like that. Hi to Dr. Morse and to others in the team. Need some advice, protocol for whatsoever that can help me out of the following. 10 days ago, my father had a brain stroke. He has problems with his vision. His left eye moved outward and seeing double visions. Oh, poor guy. He is disoriented, I'll bet. And as mentioned, seeing double images. He cannot open his eyes just with his fingers. His eyelids are down. Do you have some advice? What is doable at home? We took him here. I'm from Europe to a hospital, but he is just getting medicinos. When he comes home, want to work with him some exercises too. Thanks. Man, you hear all that? Come on out. All right. First of all, if you've had a stroke or heart attack, or you see a cholesterol ring around the outside, the border of your iris, that white translucent ring that around your eye, or you have been diagnosed with cataracts, that's cholesterol. Upper circulation, lower circulation, brain and nerve. And in the case of a stroke, I would do 2 dropperfuls of brain and nerve 3 times a day and 2 dropperfuls of upper circulation 3 times a day. Now, that's going after the stroke and the damage to the tissue. But I need to fix why he stroked. That's not treating why he stroked. I'm trying to keep his blood flow going, dilating these capillaries, trying to get the blood continually moving so he doesn't stroke or heart attack again. Oh no, this guy, your dad could have multiple strokes yet. You know, I don't want to be negative, but I want to be realistic to you. And a heart attack to caboot. When you start plaquing cholesterol, it's generally systemic, head to toe, and a very serious thing. And again, this is a lymphatic problem. This is not a blood problem. It is a blood problem now, but it wasn't. It is a lymphatic problem, and it's the only system you can. I'm not recommending the circulation formulas to cure this. Now, the upper circulation of brain and nerve will regenerate the brain cells, no question. But what system do I want to go after real bad? And it's a system that cholesterol plaques in, and it is a cholesterol system. The lymphatic system, there was that broken record again, lymphatic system. I want his kidney, because your dad's going to, you look at his kidneys, I'll bet you're going to find higher creatinine levels in his blood work and everything else. He's going down the kidney road, lower back, all that kind of crap. So you want to go after his kidneys, his adrenal, go after his lymphatic system, go after his GI tract. You want to help drain this brain, all right? So I would say also use the neurolymphatic points down his back. Get somebody to work on those, if you will. Candle his ears, 3 or 4 candles per ear. Start pulling out and relieving pressure and stress. But you got to get the lymph system moving to get this cholesterol out. Now, it could be calcifications. It wouldn't have to be cholesterol. He could have calcifications. Same problem, same way, same everything. If you're going to break up calcifications, it takes a little longer than cholesterol. I'd rather reduce a lipid than a rock. But this is what a lifetime of acidosis, a lifetime of eating acid ash-forming foods does to us. It makes us hard as rocks. I mean, it makes us into rocks. We love the protein. And whoever thought of that, whoever brought that out, ruined the human race for a while. So no Nobel Peace Prize to that guy or person. Mess everybody up, claiming you have to eat high proteins and stuff like that. Whoever, I'd like to know whoever instigated that whole thing that's ruined civilizations over it. But that's what I'm doing. The upper and lower circulations, brain and nerve, and I'm heading off after the kidneys, adrenals. I'm after this, your dad. Big time. Are you kidding? And his diet's only going to be fruits, berries, and melons. Sorry, Dad. Tie you to the chair? Because if you want to get your faculties back, get your eyes open, get everything back, get any dropped done, get this all back to normal, you got to stay 100% raw and fruits, berries, and melons. That's neuron regenerating. Vegetables are not for neuron regeneration. Those animals that are vegetarians are very, very smart, but they're not close to the Homo sapien and primate. None of them are. And that's why we're the frugivores. You just have to understand this. A man has to get with this because these are facts and you can trace it all the way back. That's what I would do with your dad. And I would do it like yesterday. Get him out of the hospital and get a feeding tube in him if he can't eat. I don't know where he is with that. But I once had a triple stroke. Guy had triple strokes. One right after another, right after another. Well, they told his wife, of course, he's going to go out and make funeral arrangements. But instead, she had the gall to call me, and so I went down and visited her husband. Of course, he was out. But I told her, I said, get him home, get a feeding tube in and get him home. They didn't want to do it, but they did. 3 months later, I had him sitting up counting his ABCs. Good case. Good case. So you can do it. And you just have to strict up here when you do things like that. You just have to strict up because this isn't a cold or flu-like symptom. You got nerve damage and you really got to get in there and rebuild the nervous system. Well, you got to remove the acids out of there to do that. And at the same time, you want to put the power of oxygenated blood up in there and the power to the neurons. And nature offers an incredible array of incredible herbs, from gotu kola to skullcap to there's some incredible herbs for the regeneration of brain tissue. I just love it. Who cares what they think? Who cares what they think? Jessica. Hi, my question is about being on a fruit-only diet during pregnancy. Ooh, you could. Be prepared, though. Be prepared. If you're all on fruits during pregnancy, you could give birth to a little gorilla. Dead serious. I mean, there's plenty of women that have done that. And these babies are coming out as Einsteins and little gorillas. I mean, you're talking about a food that is more of a brain food than anything. You're talking about a food that is an electrical. The human being is the most electrical of the species. And so that's what we need that. And you can see around that people are going nuts because they're eating dead food. Everything is dead, dead, dead. They don't have any electricity coming into them. Everything is dead. Their thinking is dead. Their feelings are dead. Our society's dead. Everybody has an agenda. The World Bank has ruined the Democratic Party in this country. The World Bank has ruined everything. And yet, some of the globalists out there want globalism. Make sure you understand who the World Bank is before you say that. And you want to be under that power and control. Be sure you understand the World Bank and their agenda. That is the agenda of what's being pushed in this country through the Clintons. This is World Bank stuff. They're World Bank people. One world order. Understand what that means to your freedom. You have none anymore. And if you want that type of socialistic world, there's going to be battles, because that's not the nature of the positive forces. That's the nature of the negative forces. So now you're having a big clash, and you're going to see it. And that's part of the clash of creation. And it's new. It's just part of it. It's going to happen. It's set to happen. It's going to happen. That's why just relax and sit back. It'll all happen in front of you. Don't be involved in it. Be the light giver, the love giver. Bring the awareness to the planet. That'll bring the balance back to the base side. But if you want some green drinks, have at it. I mean, there wouldn't be nothing wrong with having a green drink once in a while. Parsley, dandelion greens, if you can get them. Maybe some spinach. But you could do that. Green, drink it. But if you're going to all fruit it during pregnancy, make sure they're all organic. There are a lot of grapes. There's a lot of power in grapes and blueberries and blackberries. My God, most of the nutrition in nature is in those types of foods right there. You're not starving for nutrition for the baby. That's what I want you to realize. And when you look at mother's milk, the composition of mother's milk pretty much follows the composition of raw foods. Pretty much the composition of fruit. Where you get into the predominance is your carbohydrates, your sugars. Half of that is your lipids, and half of that your protein. Your protein isn't even in second place. It's in last place in milks, except for cat milks. Interesting. But then you see an animal that sleeps 20 hours a day. That's because carbon isn't its number one place. It is in all the other vertebrates. Carbon is your number one place. About half of that, depends on the creature and the size, is lipids with the lymph system. And then there's your blood and the lymph right there. And then the lowest is your structure of your proteins, your amino acids, your carriers, and for minor structure stuff. So it's actually antagonistic. Mother's milk is antagonistic chemically to what our nutritionists and our medical establishment is pushing out there, even though medical has had no education on natural health, or as far as that's concerned, deeper sides of chemistry. So, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. But I'll say, yeah.
Well, yes.
Yeah. Now, how do you get the required minerals like iodine on just fruits? Because again, I think man has got confused with dosages because of supplementation. Man feels that we have to have all this iodine or all this. No, we don't. All these amino acids. No, you don't. It's surprising. Now, I want you to think about this. What would be important? When you're talking about minerals and nutrition, the fruits and the berries, particularly the berries, are the most nutritious on the planet in nutrition. suited for the species that eats them. Remember, foods are designed and built for the species that needs to eat them. When we come in with hypothesis from propaganda on top of what nature's already doing, it throws a wrench into it, because we're trying to look at it the way man thinks it should be, or the way he's been teaching it, as opposed to the way the nature has been handling it. So that's part of the problem. It's easy for an intellectual narcissistic person to say, oh, nature, you guys are just freaks. The opposite is true. The freak is that who spent his whole life studying intellectualism, or hers, all their life, someone else's works, and thinks they're going to go out and make a difference. No, everything is just the same. When you study nature, you're studying life, you're studying energy, you're studying kineticness, you're studying everything. And you're studying your home, you're studying who you are and how it's all put together. You're not chasing rainbows of phantom diseases that don't exist, with toxic pharmaceuticals putting tons of money into pockets, and the reduction of the population. Fits perfectly for the World Bank agenda, though, doesn't it? So be real careful about what you wish for and what you want, because you were born as an individual. Individuality and freedom are the hallmarks of spirituality, the hallmarks of God. When you try to take that and remove that and put that into a form that is ritualistic and with everything else, it fights that. Even though that's very much a part of it. But your fruits are more inadequate. Matter of fact, look at all the things you guys are curing just on fruits. Look at what we've cured just on fruit. Look at what we can do. Okay, so here's this ALS client. She's just one of many, but this is a classic example. I've given her before, but we've got others. Okay, so she comes to us in a wheelchair. She's Lou Gehrig's ALS, can't talk. She's a singer. She's got albums out. She can't sing, of course, because she can't even talk. And of course, her limbs are distorted like this, right? And she's kind of like this, typical, right? Going back to the fetal position, right? Extreme acidosis, right? So 4 months, 4.5 months, what? Somewhere in that room. She's walking. I've got this on video, and we're working getting it put together, because we shot different videos. But we have her walking, talking, and singing. And by the way, we have her talking very normally. When she doesn't know, we have her recorded. So the thing is, we took her from 0.0 to at least got her up to starting to walk, push herself around. That's pretty damn good. And then getting her to talk again and to sing again. What did we feed her? Fruits, berries, and melons, and herbs. That's it. So, you think your baby's going to come out a little on the healthy side? I'd say so. You know, you got to realize what we're doing. When we see regeneration, you see Roger Liepard up there, the quad on that I think it was NBC, and then Fox did one on that one too. The extreme scoliosis pulling itself straight. But no, the fractured femur with a 28-degree angle on that right leg, healed with a big bump in his thigh, pulled itself straight overnight. Wow. Wow. That's God. The power of the raw, baby. Unfortunately, we all can't say 100% raw all the time. But it is what it is. Isn't this an important thing for pregnant women to have in their diet? No, not necessarily. You know, you don't need a lot of minerals. You got to be careful with too many minerals again. But what you need is a very balanced mineral. Now, I want to stop here just for a minute while we're talking, Jessica, because I want to, and all of you guys, let's go back for a minute. The 4 phases that your body goes through as a chemical or food processor: digestion, absorption, utilization, and elimination. You're asking me questions that rest on those 4 premises. Because if you're malabsorbed, you're going to be down in the absorption of nutrients, whether they're minerals, whether they're vitamins. Most vitamins are called the bacteria in your body, thank you. You get a lot of vitamins with the microbes, thank you, unless you kill them. So all your nutrition is not just vitamins and minerals. That's really a very small part of a plant, my dear ones. You've got flavonoids, you've got coumarins, you do have your alkaloids a little, and you have your tannins. You have all levels of nutrition, all active ingredients of nutrition in all these foods. So it isn't just vitamins. Man's just stuck on those two things. But they're comprised of everything else. You should be asking me, do I get all that other stuff too? Because it's more than vites and mints. You've got all kinds of stuff going on. Orthomolecular supplementation, that to me is ridiculous. But I was into it heavy, orthomolecular supplementation, in other words, supplementing with vitamins and minerals. No. Fix digestion, fix absorption, fix utilization, adrenals, remember, parathyroid for calcium, and then get that elimination up to get all that done. And the less you'll need, even littler to eat. This is all rests upon how well you digest, absorb, and utilize. That's the questions you need to ask. But plenty of nutrition in fruits and berries. So add your berries, a lot of nutrition in berries. If you feel like you want to add a green drink, I don't care. They're just a lower frequency, but you get more minerals in that if you want that, and you get some chlorophyll. So you can add some green drinks for sure. If you want to, that's okay with me. So green drinks and fruits and berries and melons, and maybe a salad now and then. You can't ask for nobody gets that level of nutrition anymore. If you want to, supplement with Superfood 3. Superfood 3 is a power blend, big time for pregnant women, for babies growing, and for seniors. And I mean, it's a power blend. I just produced it. It's out now. But we have even on up. We got bodybuilder blends now. We have super energizer blends. I mean, now you can go on up with us. We've got, I've got alfalfa so concentrated it should make your ears turn. So, we got some good stuff there for you. Too much is too much, though. I mean, you don't try to get too much, because your body has to simply digest properly, absorb properly, utilize properly, and eliminate properly. You do all four of those things properly, and you're in Wellville going to the moon, baby. Because you're obstruction-free. But you can get extremely healthy. I would also recommend you take an endocrine gland formula. You take something for your kidneys, minor stuff like that to enhance the baby's endocrine, because I'm just thinking of what comes out the chute in today's world, and you want to fix some things before your baby comes out. And if I'm you and I'm listening to me, I want a picture of my eyes. I want to know what I'm looking like inside. How's my monthly cycles? Do you have a pituitary? Was it hard for you to conceive? And for you ladies that are hard to conceive, remember this is a pituitary problem. Fix your pituitary gland and get it healthy, and you'll conceive all day long, maybe a little too much. So if you're hard to conceive, ladies, or you're aborted, or you miscarriaged, in other words, or whatever, that's a pituitary problem. Fix that. Upper circulating nerve, use a female reproductive formula. You can use pituitary herbs. There's a way to fix all of this stuff. But you want to be a healthy woman, you want to carry to term, and you want a healthy baby coming out. So you have to work and get your body healthy, because remember, your baby is hooked to your blood and lymph. So your baby is excreting in you or through your channels. So if you're not filtering, Mom, neither is your baby. Lymphatically speaking, it's why we got babies with tumors and things in them now. Why we have babies with cancer cells at this level. Like mama, like baby. I mean, that's an old saying, and it's so true. More true than people realize. So that's the one thing. Look at your lymph system, because this is what's coming through with your baby. Look at your state of adrenals, your blood pressures, your kidneys, because your baby's going to be weaker. It's a downline. Unless you turn this around, turn your genetics around, which you can, and then you're going to create strength in your offspring. And that's what we should be thinking about and discussing for the ladies that want to have babies. You want to have babies and add to the society here to make strong, smart, awake beings. We need to awaken this level up a little bit. How can we get this without supplementing? Is it in your superfood formulas? Oh, everything is. Oh, absolutely. Are you kidding? Too much. Like I said, I'm still in the final stages of the baby, the mother's milk by nature for infants for instead of breastfeeding, But I've got it as weak as I get it, and it's still stronger than mother's milk. So I'm going to have to use it. But I'm trying to get it powdered so it goes through the nipple real nice and everything, because there's a lot of oils naturally in nature. And when I'm just grinding food. I don't process nothing. I'm just grinding up food and giving it back to you. So I got to be able to have the food that you can grind up that doesn't stick so much. So I got to be careful with the bananas. There's a couple with the different things in there with lipids in there. So I'm having some problems with that without messing with the formula. Have you found the difference between the last video and this one yet? Also, I don't like the idea of giving a newborn a vitamin K shot. That's stupid. These guys are so stupid. I don't even know where these people come from. So I'm going to say, he's stupid. My baby doesn't get a vitamin K shot. But what happens if they don't? Do babies not need vitamin K when born? No. Jessica, things are just getting more stupid and more stupid. It looks like, from a perspective from me, it's like, in some ways. That's all ridiculous. The same consciousness is telling you that you need to give your baby, before so many months, an extremely loaded vaccine shot. Do you think these people respect your babies? Do you think these pediatricians really give a shit? When you put toxic vaccines into your babies, do you think that doctor really cares for your baby? Not at all. And if they do, they're lying through their teeth. Because you don't, as a female pediatrician in particular, and I know several, and love them because they use natural immunities. But do you think these people really care? When you start to vaccinate and you put toxin into your babies, do you think these physicians really care? No, they don't. And if they think they do, they need to take and re-examine their profession, because they are the reason why everybody's sick, not the reason why everybody's healthy, because they're not. We've been listening to the allopathic community for how long? And look what we're a result of. Humans are seriously in trouble. And if you don't believe that, come work here for 1 month and you'll be going, ah! Oh, wait. It's okay. It's coming to me now. It's coming to me now. Hew. We want to hew these little fellas right into the God girls. Thanks for listening to this old grumpy man. But I love you guys. Thanks so much. And go after your health. Go after that. Don't buy into this crap that's all over the place out there. Turpentine, stool implants. Give me a break. These are some of the things you have to realize. This is the desperation of man. Shark cartilage, all this crap. Just not understanding the cause of things can lead you down some very bizarre roads. But you don't have to worry about it here. You're home. We love you. And thanks for tuning in. See you on the nightly journeys. A lot of fun, ain't it?